Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Judy Fox, and I serve as the Program Manager for the Los Angeles Regional Consortium, also known as LARC, which represents 19 community colleges across the Los Angeles region. I also have the pleasure of co-leading the LARC AI Task Force. Today's professional development session, AI Basics for TK-14 Educators, is made possible through our partnership with the Los Angeles Office of Education, and also known as LACO. And it's also made possible with the coordination and vision of LARC's AI Task Force. This collaborative work has resulted in over 30 AI professional development opportunities made available for all of you well into 2026. Leading today's session is Eduvators Technical Director, Dr. Raina Walzinger, and Instructional Technology Trainer, Linda Delzite. The goal of today's presentation is to help educators understand the essentials and start using AI with confidence. And before we launch in, we are excited to share that you will find today's professional development session and more on the newly launched LARC AI Learning Library. We will make sure to drop the link in the chat. And with that, I turn it over to our AI subject matter experts from Eduvators to get today's professional development started.
Thanks, Judy, and also asked to make Linda a co-host. It's great to see everybody here today, and we're ready for a hands-on session. So I hope you have your computers or laptops ready to go, and we'll take time when we do each one to make sure everybody's signed in and know what to do and know the benefits for. Some of them have extra benefits with the EDU address. And so we're going to start with introductions, and we're going to ask you guys some questions, and we'll have you probably use the chat since probably easiest to communicate that way. So I'm Dr. Raina Walzinger. My background's in biomedical engineering and digital media and music, and so kind of a creative technical professional. I'm teaching currently 3 classes in AI and an AI expert in 2 districts. And I'm also one of the change makers for Southern California. So we'll be working with the Chancellor's Office to deploy things across our area. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited about today because doing hands-on is my favorite thing that I do every week when I teach. So I'll pass that to Linda.
Hi, we're always happy to be with
You're a little louder, Linda. Sorry.
All right, can you hear me again?
It's a little bit better, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm Linda Delzite, and I've been teaching for almost 50 years. That's the goal, is to finish teaching for 50 years and be one of the pioneering educators since 1991, back before there was internet. It was all bulletin board, email called FredMail. Anyway, we're happy to take you through a whole bunch of hands-on experiences here today. And Raina, I'm going to let you get started because there's not enough time to cover everything.
Correct. That is true. So, first, I would love everybody to go in the chat and let us know. We have a order of things that we think we want to present, but we're really excited to see what things you're curious about in hands-on AI training today. So, if you could go in the chat and put that in there now, give everybody a couple minutes to do that. It could be something about app. It could be something internal that your school has for your Canvas. It could be something in your department or anything that you want to put in there. It'd be great. Okay, I got it started.
Looks like it might be open to you guys.
Okay. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks, Carlos. So we're going over anything that you want to see us cover today so we make sure we're including things that you want to see since it's a hands-on workshop today. Just go ahead and put it in the chat. So while everybody's hopping on, we'll just get started since we have a lot to do. So I think we're going to start with Gemini, and the reason is because at the Future Summit at the Chancellor's Office, we heard that we're all going to be getting a version of Gemini education, which is really great. Gemini is has a lot of great things for educators, and it's very forward looking, and it has the EDU version will give us a safe space for our data and our conversations. And so I thought we would start with that, and then we're going to give you guys actually things to do and share in Gemini. So the first thing about Gemini is we do have it at the moment. We have it free for educators. If you hop on, and you may not want to do it because if we're getting it anyway soon, it might be a hassle, but you can always go into Google and look up Gemini free for students and teachers. So I have my students doing that, but they do require a credit card that doesn't get charged in Google. You do need a Gmail account and you need an EDU account. So I'm on my Gemini Pro free for a year right now with my EDU account, even though here you'll see I'm actually in my Gmail account. So that's how it works. It's Google. It's kind of a Google workspace, so you need a Gmail to use it. But with your EDU account, you can get a free Pro account for a year. Again, I think we're going to be getting that anyway, so no rush to go do that, but just so you know that's available. And it's a little tricky with students because I have to make sure to tell them, to log out of their Pro account before the year's up so that it doesn't charge. And so that's a small risk, just so you know about that. So why Gemini is different, and we're going to do a prompt here in a second, is it has a lot of training on Google stuff. So if you think about it, it's Google Maps, Google, YouTube, and all of the Gemini stuff. So a quick example before we go into the hands-on would be something I did this weekend with a very non-technical professor in Canvas, which is the coding application. And they want to, at Otis College of Art and Design over here in LA, want to have students research doing tours on ghost or UFO sightings and ghost sightings. And so I was thinking about Gemini because it's integrated with Google Maps. So let me just do a quick demo and then we'll start doing some hands-on stuff just to show you what the power of Google does that's different than the other one. So let's create an app for seeing, ghost sightings in LA County, include maps and info. And that's all I'm going to say. And then it's going to, so again, I was teaching a non-technical professor, and I'm like, don't worry about the code, just talk to it, and then when you see the output, talk to it some more. And so this has been a pretty successful project that she was going to give students to now go and make their own versions, and then they were going to come up with a class field trip and actually go see these sites. So it'll go through and do this code just for technical people, HTML. It's going to be a website. And it's one of the things I noticed that's confusing, like, is it a website, is it code, but it's making a website essentially. And what's beautiful about Google is they've already had decades of experience with Google Docs, so it knows how to share. So this is going to go in the Google Cloud, and you can share it just like a Google Drive. And when it's done, this little preview button will open up. And so now it's got some things. You can see maps. So whatever I click, it integrates right with Google Maps, which is, I think, astounding. It's unbelievable that it does that. So I can go back and ask it to give me full color or whatever things I want to do. But it gave me a kind of scary motif because it's about ghosts. And I didn't ask for that, but it interpreted that, obviously, I guess. So it's got these things that are potentially haunted UFO sites across LA with all the maps. So, and then you can just share it by clicking the share. And if you see HTTP, that's a website. It is public, so you can share it privately. That's a separate process where you'd have to host it somewhere like GitHub. But this is what most of us in education are going to be doing. We're going to be sharing. You can even share this link in Canvas or across department or email, whatever, for other people to access. So as soon as I share it, it becomes public in Google. So this is a quick demonstration of the power of Gemini. So let's just go back to my conversations, and this is going to be your turn. I'm going to actually put a prompt in the chat for us. So I'm gonna go into, let's see, our chat. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead. So you're going to be on gemini.google.com. You can try this, I believe, without logging in, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you have trouble, let me know on the chat. But first, we're going to do one example. And it's okay if you don't have a syllabus. So, whoops. So I'm putting in the chat, provide your course learning outcomes. Ask Gemini to create a detailed syllabus draft for a 16-week semester. So what you can do, if you have a syllabus, that's great. If you don't, you can generate one. So I'll generate one for this UFO class that I don't teach, but generate SLOs for a course, college level. Needs to know what level, or it'll just guess, probably wrong, on ghost and UFOs. And then from there, you can generate a syllabus if you don't have one. And then you can do this prompt. So let me give you guys a few minutes to go ahead and do that while I read the chat. You guys can unmute too, ask questions or whatever. This is a hands-on workshop, so whatever you want to do.
Gita had commented previously about having used the exact same prompt for your ghost adventures and received different responses. Is that due to historical type prompts that shape your future responses?
Oh, I see. Well, it's still AI, so even if I put this, so what I did with that, professor, is we did it in Canva, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity, and all three gave slightly different answers. So it depends on what it's been trained on and what it comes up with the answers. So that's sometimes a good idea. Actually, I do that too, is get answers and combine them all and then redo it. So there's nothing that's 100. It's not kind of the only one that's really factual, I would say, that's good. Gemini and Perplexity are probably the best at giving you the most comprehensive answer for this type of thing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was interesting
Yeah.
to use the Gemini, the same one, but it's also, I think, encouraging that, different people can ask the same question and get a different answer.
For sure.
Unless it's obviously like historical fact, right? Then that's a different scenario. You don't want that. But yeah, something generative, it's kind of cool that it doesn't necessarily spit out the same information for the same question.
That's correct. And I watched a video this week from OpenAI or Gemini. I think I was doing some professional training myself. And it showed a series of dots. And then it's like, okay, car. And then you're like, okay, maybe where do I buy this kind of car? And it'll go like, find this thing. And it'll be like, what kind of car? Then it'll get another dot. Then it'll be like, what color car? So it starts to make these kind of digital vectors. And then it derives the answer from that. So even just thinking about drawing dots between things is probably going to be different every time. Unless you're looking at scraping the web like Perplexity does. So, and it does. So so I noticed each app kind of finds different information that, and I have to prompt it more like, oh, make sure you include, I always like, being a professor, it's like, oh, you forgot this thing or that thing, like go redo it, go look at that again. Unless you go into like a deeper research mode. But when I'm making these apps, it seems to be different on everyone too. Yeah. That's okay. I mean, it's not, again, those aren't fact-based. It's like, what should I do in Hawaii? Like everybody can give you a different answer. It kind of reminds me of that. So if you have something good that you want to share, either you can talk to us or you can paste something in the chat. That would be great. Or I have to call names. Same class. But I'd like you guys to share what kind of output this gave you.
Just a tip for those who forget, if you have the document open, it usually doesn't upload to Zoom in the files. Can't upload a file that's open, so you'll have to close it. And Judy, you do have it set for everyone to be able to upload a file, correct, in Zoom?
They should be able to upload a file in Zoom.
Okay.
Randy, would you like to test? Or Gita?
I am asking Gemini to convert it to a Word doc now. It just outputted it in the body. So as soon as I get that, I'll try to upload it.
Awesome.
It's telling me it cannot create a Word document file. So yeah, I can copy paste just the content then instead.
So if you guys can unmute, tell me what you think about, is this something that seemed helpful that you can start with as an outline for something like creating this semester? Because I do that myself. So let's say, because I'm usually teaching like 3 classes and doing, 4 workshops a week. So it's very hard to say each of those projects is going to take 3 months. Because if you count the months, you run out of months in a semester. So for me, it helps to put my syllabus in there, create a 16-week outline, and then I can start looking at the topic sentences and create modules as a teacher. But this could be also for, like I said, doing stuff in a department level or management level. So any thoughts? Don't be shy. This is the most quiet group ever. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Gina.
Yeah, I created one also, but I'm having trouble downloading it or making it into a document, so I'm not sure.
Let's go look at that. That's a really good point. And one of the most common things between the way Google works and like the way Copilot works, which Linda's going to be sharing next, they're very different in the document. So let me go back and share my Google, and we'll do one. And I'll show you like how I deal with it, and it's just different than Microsoft. So in industry, I've had both Google Workspace and Microsoft 365, and I notice in the professional version that I use for working in industry, it's very different operating than our Microsoft stuff. So I'm just going to do a doc. So let's do a short one. Create a just 4-week syllabus. Just a quick one. Sorry about my typing noise. I'll try to type quieter. Okay. So we create this document, and then it's probably going to want to send it to Google Docs. I might be able to get a Word doc, but probably I have to convert it. So it's going to do this quick thing, I hope. I should have said send me a doc file. I can actually stop. No, that's fine. Okay. So it's got this stuff. I can, I've got mine in dark mode, but I can copy and paste as long as this is an important point, as long as I'm using the web browser. If I'm using Gemini from my dock and my computer, it brings up the local version and the copy and paste doesn't work properly. Like if I wanted to paste this right into Canvas, I can just go beep, paste. But now what I can do is I can say, send me a doc, and let's see what it just comes up with without asking. I'm not going to ask it whether it's a Word doc or a Google doc, so it's probably going to do a Google doc. And then once I open that, let's see if it'll do it. Can't do that. I can provide. Okay, so it did what you said. It didn't send me a doc. So it used to do that. It's funny it changed that. So I guess we're stuck with copy here into a doc or copy by highlighting the whole thing, which is usually what I do. But if I do this, copy the response, I'm just going to test it in Word for a second. I think that usually I'm dealing with Canvas, or Word, I guess. You can do whatever. It's blocked by my Zoom screen. So, But I think, actually I could do it on the bottom of this document I have open. Yeah, so if you copy it like that, or you click the copy button, I'll share that other screen. It used to send docs, so I don't know if anybody got that, but mine did not share a doc. So I just pasted it in here, and it kept the formatting and everything. And this is how also it looks in Canvas with the lines and all that. Even ChatGPT or any of them will do that. As long as you're using the web browser version, it keeps the formatting in your document.
Thank you.
Which is interesting. Yeah, that's. I was so frustrated before when I was using, whenever the apps came out, I'm like, oh, I'm going to download them all on my laptop. And then I started doing that way. I'm like, maybe it's more secure. And literally, that drops the formatting. So I was like, what happened? That was really frustrating because when it drops the formatting, you just get text that's all in a giant blob. And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So Caroline, did it give you a doc?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it changed. I wonder if I see a lot of security changes that they're working on security and doing. It seems like data going in and out of their cloud is an issue. So, and it's happening in Microsoft and other things too, depending on how you use them. So, and I have the Pro version. It's not doing it here. It's probably, I'm going to say it may be temporary. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that, Linda? Because I have seen this function be changing at the moment. Is it, right, unmute for a second.
I was off working for my part. What was the question?
Oh, sorry. I've seen the apps like Microsoft change these and then bring them back. And I kind of feel like it's a security issue, like sending docs out or going in and out of the application. So my thought is this is something they're working on security and not giving you a doc at the moment. Because it used to do that.
Are they working on their desktop or are they working in the cloud? Because the
This is in the
cloud,
cloud. Yeah.
yeah, the cloud has done some changing. And as we saw in Microsoft Excel, if you go into the chat versus the app skill where it's infused in 365, Copilot and chat, it's different. It functions different. So I'm not sure what their settings are, how they're working with it.
Yeah. So because until now, I can send my apps everywhere, but I can't generate a doc. So it used to go right to Google Docs and Google Spreadsheets, but now it makes you copy and paste in there. So that's definitely a change at the moment. And Judy, yes, you mentioned it, that in the K-12 it might be blocked from Gemini. So, and I have worked, I do a lot of K-12 work too. So we're using Google, the EDU version. They already use Google Workspace and Classroom, so that version. So Gemini it's a protected version inside of there at the moment that we're doing in there. So okay, anybody else? Any feedback? I see some downloads. Okay, oh, this is good. Caroline, thanks for giving us the Word doc. So it looked like it worked pretty good. Comments, questions? If not, we'll go to the second prompt on Gemini that I want to do. And then we're going to move on to Linda's. So I'm going to move on to accessibility question here. So this will be a little bit harder. So this is the code for a simple, accessible, which is a WCAG compliant web page that defines terms for a course. And you can also ask it which accessibility laws it's following and which colors, or change it to your school colors or anything that you want. So to do this one, we're going to use a tool called Code in Gemini. So I'm going to go to a new chat. I'm going to use Canvas. So it's super confusing because it's called Canvas and we all use Canvas LMS, but that's the way that the whole AI world decided to designate coding. So if I put this prompt in there, it kind of gives it it doesn't write it all out, but it puts it in a little square, which I don't really like, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to let it fly and hit return, and then I'm going to iterate on it, because whatever it gives me, I'm not going to like probably the colors, or I might want to put a copyright on the bottom or my name somewhere, and it might ask you, oh, so my prompt didn't work, so let me do this again. I had this problem before, because it's trying to copy from Word, so I might have to just type it out instead. So I will do that. So HTML for so WCAG compliant web, and responsive, meaning I'm going to put for phone or computer. So this is really important. I notice if you don't tell it to be responsive, then all of a sudden on the phone it's just like something you have to scroll all over, and it doesn't work very well. Key terms. I'm going to change my prompt a little bit and then let it run. So you might have to type the prompt in there. If it doesn't paste, I should probably take mine out of dark mode and let it run. I'm going to unshare. So whatever you want to do, but see if you can make a compliant site that you can preview, and then you can share it by either sending us the link in the chat, which would be great, or you can take a screenshot. I guess my copy paste is, I probably need to take it out of my dark mode, which I don't know why it's
Yeah, if somebody needs to share, they'll need to raise their hand so I can let them share their screen.
That'd be
But I
great.
can share mine real quick since I'm
Oh, awesome.
right here too. So that's how it turned out for me.
Wow. So did you try the share too? And see how that works on there. Oh, awesome. Okay, gave you the HTTP. So you can copy that and send it anywhere. And I believe you don't have to have Gemini to open it. So I think everybody
Can I put it there?
You can put it, yeah, right there, and we should be able to get to it and go play in your site. So what I do in the classroom, so Canvas will strip out the interoperability of these apps. So that's okay. So I'm used to that. I can make an iframe, but what I usually do, an iframe is like a frame to put this in, but it might still cut some stuff off. So what I usually do is take a screenshot of it, some of it, and then I put a link. So I'm like, here's what you're going to see when you get there. And when you click the link, you'll be in this application. So, and I have students post that way too. Give me a screenshot and give me the link. And that's how I do my grading for this type of stuff. And I find students all the way from middle school on up to 85 years old that I teach are very comfortable doing this, which is really exciting. And because like my younger students are making like Star Wars games or like all these games that like click your keyboard as many times as you can to blow up the Death Star. Like they think of stuff like that. My seniors are sharing recipes with all of their family members in an app, and they're all putting them in there. It's so fun. But for doing course material, now you can see if you click on these things, they're responsive, and you can have it like say, okay, well, you can ask it more things like make an image of this process, or make a practice quiz for each thing, or you can keep asking it, or change the colors to whatever. A little hint for colors. What I do is I have a screenshot actually sitting on my computer of the colors like where I teach or of eduvators, and I just drag it into any of these, and I say make it these theme colors. So I don't have to know anything. I just drag the thing in there. And it works great. Or it can go look at your website too. Okay. anybody else get some meaningful stuff? Let's see what I got. I'm actually going to change mine because it came out to be like super not colorful. All right, anybody else want to share anything? All right, thanks, Judy. I'm just waiting for mine to iterate a little bit. Oh, good. Okay, so one thing I noticed that, oh, that's good. The brand from the website. That's really good, Carolyn. Thanks. That in Gemini, you have to kind of tell it what to do as far in terms of colors and stuff, more than you would have to do in an app like Anthropic's Claude. That one seems to understand kind of the colors and the UI UX, the way that we see and interact with the app a little bit better than Gemini does. So yeah, the brand guide, if you have the brand guide, that's like super, super great. So let me share my little output. So I just made a app on AI, and I asked it to make it more colorful, to make it accessible. And usually like I'll go, add copyright I'll just put it for me for now, 2025, and make 3 quiz questions or something like that, like make it more interactive. Then I can put this right into my Canvas, or if I'm doing this for my department, like it might be a review of some things that we're doing, and it's a really good way to do stuff. But it'll pull information, it'll pull maps, it'll pull YouTubes. It'll actually give you the preview of the YouTube, so it becomes very colorful and amazing. So if you're teaching about anything and you're like, want to pull YouTubes in there, it'll show you the preview window, and it'll be very graphical and beautiful looking. So the other AI applications don't tend to do that, but Gemini does that because it's in the Google environment. So now I've got some test your knowledge stuff that I can do, and checking my answers. I have a copyright, so you can see how quickly it can be changing. It's pretty great. And then I can share this with anybody. All right, questions about that? And thanks for the brand identity guide. That's super. Actually, that would be good also for Canva if we get there today. So with that, if there's no questions, I'm going to pass it to Linda to do some work in Copilot, and you'll see the stark differences between the two.
Okay, so I've been working in the background. Sorry, Raina, I haven't been supporting you.
We're all good.
Things have been a little challenging this morning. So let me find out, do you guys have the full Copilot integration in your accounts? Did the schools give you full Copilot, or is it just Copilot that integrates into your email? So I'm going to drop a file into the chat here. So let me go find it. And so I'm trying to demonstrate both. And the challenge has been that it didn't want to give me the ability to have one screen logged into the LACCD and one screen logged into Eduvators, where we have the full account. It's been a little challenging on that. So let me go ahead and drop this in. And the computer is just totally fighting me, of course. So. All right, so I am sending you a file, and I think I can share the file. Share screen. And I can pull up the Copilot's activities. Can you see my screen now?
Not quite yet, but we did get the file.
Okay.
I think you're a co. presenter though. Let's see. Yeah, you're a co-host. Okay, there we go.
So are we working now?
Yeah, it's coming up now.
Okay, so when you log into your email, this one's through the LACCD, you can see that there's a Copilot and it gives you chat and settings. Okay, and so this was the first example that I was going to take you through, is where you have Copilot, but they only gave it to you integrated into your email. And so go to the settings and you have to turn the Copilot on or it doesn't work. And this mostly allows you to go through and search all your emails. So you can say, give me all of the emails that were on the curriculum committee for the last 3 months, and I have to find what tasks I had to do. Okay, or I'm looking for something and I know it was in email. Whereas if you have the Copilot over on the left side, like you see here, and I can share my screen in a minute, this takes you into chat, and this is a web-based chat. Okay, so again, up on the top right side of my district email, and it works for both of the college campuses that I teach at, for both El Camino and LACCD, is that I will have over here if the Copilot is integrated at the district level. Okay, so, and I'm showing you here before I get into it. You want to also find this symbol, because this symbol here tells you that it's in a protected state. So if you click on what this is, it takes you to the enterprise data link, and I put the link in here. So if you don't find that, which means you just went to copilot.com, then you're not in a secure environment, and it will take whatever you say and put it out on in its learning language model training. So always look to make sure that you're in a protected environment, especially if you're working with student data. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show is I just picked up a search prompt. And so the activities today are going to put in a search prompt, and you can do whatever you want. I just put one in on Resi. And then it gave me some different options to come up with. I picked one, and then from there I said, create a slide presentation. And then I'm going to go through a how to create a vocabulary list in 11 Labs. And I think, Rena, that's outside Copilot, so I'll do that later. And then I can also show you how to take a spreadsheet or a attendance document that comes right out of, let me share that screen, right out of, here we go again. It wants to go to a different one. Okay. Out of Canvas, and it's just all raw data, and turn it into something that's very useful. Okay, so that's another handout that I have. So let's just go into my mail. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So here's my Copilot, and I go to settings, and you can see that I have the settings on. So then if I go to chat, it's going to want to, it shows up in the side window, and it will look at all of my chat functions here. Okay, and so if I want to search my mail, I can search my mail. If I go over to Copilot here, then it's going to come into a chat window, and it is a larger chat. Okay, so this is a web-based chat. I'm protected here. I can also make it a temporary chat so that it doesn't even get saved in my chats. This starts a new chat, and this goes to my saved chats, recent pages, and stuff like that. All right, so let me get my screen up. And for this one, I'm just going to take the prompt I had here. Okay, which is to search. Here we go. Slow. I get too much logged in. Okay. I'm going to search and hit it. And it gives me a document. Okay, and it's going to compare the California Community College with the Academic Senate, and gives me some takeaways. And then it asks me, do I want to provide a template for implementation, summarize key faculty responses? This is totally different than my last search. So I'll click on summarize key faculty responsibilities. Yes. And okay, so everybody I'm sure is aware that Resi is regular substantive interaction. If you teach it fully online, you really have to be aware of that. It goes through all of our accreditation. We train faculty on it. Wherever I teach, it's a big deal. I'm sure it is at your college too. So now we come down and I can create a checklist. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, create a downloadable checklist for faculty. And it will do that for me. Okay. Now, if I look at the link, it may be download and it may have put it into my OneDrive. So it will sometimes do it one way and sometimes do it another way. This one came in as a PDF file. Okay, so that's great. I can download it. It's still downloading. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the next command, which is create a presentation of talking points for faculty training. Include references to the, just include references. You can do this as a teacher and you can ask it to go get some data, provide a checklist, summary, talking points, and it does it all for you rather quickly. If you are using OER textbooks, and originally the OER textbooks did not provide any PowerPoints, and so teachers were a little more leery about using them. If you have a downloadable chapter, you can put the chapter in and it will do PowerPoints for you. So let's see if it'll open. All right, so this one it put straight into my OneDrive. It did not make it a downloadable, but of course I can download it from there.
That's amazing, especially with images.
All right, so there's my demonstration. I'm going to give you time to do it. You can use your own prompt. I'll stop share. And then I've got the attendance one, Rena, but let's go ahead and give them some time.
Sounds good. Let us know if you have
So
questions.
do your schools give you Google or do your schools give you Microsoft email accounts? You can put it in the chat. Okay. Outlook email, students or Gmail. So if you have Outlook, I assume they gave you the full OneDrive. You have both? Okay. So I would hope that you could go into your email and look for that Copilot. And I would like to know, did your schools give you the Copilot that's infused into just the email, which is what ours did? Okay. And I will try and pull up this other screen. It's just not having me log into both at the same time. So okay, I have the file here up that was saved. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick demo on this one. Share. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so get this out of the way. So this was my original attendance data. I think if you have worked in Canvas and you have extracted an attendance roster, you'll recognize this. So it's got your course ID, student information system, whatever it is that your school provides. And then I took and let me just made each of the student names generic for this to protect them. And then I gave it prompts and said, okay, I want you to sort this and then give me a output that has all of the students summarized with total dates, total number of days they were present, total number of days they were late, instead of being organized and going through every day that the class met. So this was the output that it gave me. Okay, it gave me the student with the total days present, total days late, total days, let's see, absent, bring it over. And I asked for the last day of attendance. And when I asked it for the last day of attendance, it gave me the last day that I took attendance, which was really funny. So I had to say the last day that it was present, because you had to go through and do all of the total or the days. You had to use the same column headings. And then I asked it to color code those students who had been absent 3 or more times. And I had one student who had only been late or absent, had never been present. I thought that was hilarious. And then I asked it to give me a legend that showed the percentage of students who had perfect attendance, those who had been some absence, and those who had been only late. Okay. So it did that. I asked it to make sure that it was an accessible. It needed bright colors. It needed a pattern in each of the pie charts. Then I had to take out the percentages that were overwritten and then put it over here. And I have a handout on the steps that I did to do this. So let me go back and drop that into, stop share, the chat for you. And hopefully you're working around. Okay. Okay, so here is the file coming to you on how to use Copilot. This example was with Copilot completely infused into all the documents. So it's a Cloud 365, and it I'm going to just I prepped some other files to share with you. And I'm going to go ahead and upload those. Let me see if I can get this to share one more time. Okay, so if you have Copilot infused all the way across, then when you get to the Copilot symbol up here, not sure this is live, folks.
Yeah, there it goes.
Okay. All right, I'm not seeing it, so I don't think I'm completely live in here. But this Copilot will have a drop-down menu that goes to chat or app skills. You have to select the app skills if you want to do the more advanced, and it gives you the option to save it as an attached file or as a new tab. If you're working without the totally infused Copilot, it won't let you do that. It will only keep giving you a new file.
I think I saw it pop up, the Copilot before.
It
There it
comes
goes.
over
Yeah,
here.
I'm seeing it on I see it.
So,
I see all the suggestions.
yeah, but it doesn't have the tab that I want
Oh, okay.
to show. Okay, so if this is working, let's try new. Blank worksheet. Okay, so I can just, actually I wanted to upload. Just don't know which one this is going to go into. Okay, this is going into Eduvators. All right. So if I can upload, file upload. I have my generic names. Let me follow along with the activities that I have. So I have the exact same directions. It's coming up. Let me find out. Do you guys actually use the output for the Canvas? Do you teach in Canvas? Do you output the attendance sheets? No? I can't see the screen.
Yeah, you guys, nobody's responding.
Okay.
You can put it in the chat if you want. If you're doing a Canvas attendance. Otherwise, we can move on. Be great if you
Okay.
guys give us some input, but all right.
I'm gonna stop share. My
Okay.
computer's frozen.
Okay, so far one no on that. Okay.
All right, well, we'll move on then.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I want to. I'm debating whether to show you the new Sora, only because there's a big difference. Maybe I'll show you the difference between what Canva and Sora are doing, so you can see the impact of this incredible technology. So now some schools have Canva. I'm not sure if you do Pro, but you don't need Pro to do any of the stuff I'm going to show you. All of the arts colleges in LA have it. Most of them have Canva and also Adobe. So, and someone asked me in the chat not to show ChatGPT or concentrate on that, so I'm trying to do something different, which is really fun, actually. So that's great. I'm going to go into my Canvas screen. So Canva is an AI also integrated app that we kind of use for a lot of stuff now. It's changed dramatically. And I just asked it to, it has a thing called Canva AI. And I'll go back to that screen in a minute, but I just asked it to make a app on CTE programs and LACCD. So it went through and then made that, and it's got learn more for each section. It's got a link and goes through all of those. So what changed in this thing? It's a major change. So if I just go back to the beginning of Canva, click on the logo. So there's a thing called Canva AI, and it's free for K-12 students. Actually, the pro versions are free, and teachers can add you to their class, or if the certain colleges have a pro version. This is the pro version that we have here at Eduvators, but you don't need the pro version. You can just hit code for me. You can create an image. So this is a great place to do things quickly for anything, whether it's promotions or a meeting or classroom materials. And you can also create video clips. If it has a little crown next to it, that's a pro feature. So all the other things besides videos are part of the free features. And it's a safe zone because this is guardrailed for education. It's made for education. So if you don't want your students to go running into a different app and do something that's like copyright or whatever, they can do it here in Canva. But also the coding is here as well. So that's how I made that code. All my projects are saved, so I can just go back into anything and see all my projects that I've done. So let's just do that really fast. And I'm going to show you the difference in the quality between this and the new Sora that is made by OpenAI, by the way. So let me go back here and I can just code anything. So I'll go into Canva AI. First of all, I'll just create an image just to show you like biology. Let's see. Do this high-powered microscope. It's really fast. So it'll come and do some different images, and usually they're realistic, being that it's for education, but which they are. So great images for class. You can edit it, open it, label it, and all of that. So, and these are things that we can use in the classroom. So it could be almost anything. You can change the size, so it can be for your phone or it can be for a movie or whatever. So this Canva AI it's great, and again, it's free to use, except for the video clips. So you can do the same code that the other ones do in a safe way. So make a quiz so it'll do anything you want. It'll do a website or whatever, and you can share it. It'll give you the link, and then Canvas has its own cloud where it hosts. So this looks like the other sites. So if you can hop on to canva.com and find that Canva AI, and then I'd love everybody to hop in and try to at least create an image while I'm doing this. It'd be great. See what we get. Okay, that's a big quiz. Okay, so you can see it's already nice for education. So then if I want to share it, I can use it in a designer, share it, I can edit it, I can see the code, whatever. So I can make a website, a PowerPoint, a doc, or a whiteboard on this thing. So Canva does have its own cloud. I can't remember if they partnered with ChatGPT or Anthropic. It looks like Anthropic, but I'm not sure as far as visually. And you can just publish your website. It'll give you an edu address, and you can name it like mybiologytest.my.canva.site and publish it. So very easy. You don't have to, you can share it with your class or whatever. So it's, again, super friendly for education. So that's a new tool for all of us. All right. If you have anything to share in the chat or unmute, that'd be great. What did you create?
I had always just used Canva AI to generate images. I didn't realize that it could also do all of this other stuff as well.
Yeah, there's some really safe ones for us. So Canva for education, there's Nectar that some schools have. It's hit and miss right now who's testing that one. And there's the Play Labs from Google that most of us have access to. So safe ways, they're basically sitting on top of an engine, right? So it's still, honestly, it's still ChatGPT or Claude. But on top of that, these other companies I Canva have partnered with them to make a safeguard railed space so you can't, if you put something on like, make a funny image of some politician or some movie or something, it won't do it because it's guardrailed for educational purposes. So, and I'll put those in the chat 'cause I think they're important that, safe ones. Google, education, Canva, and let's see, I think ChatGPT has EDU too. I think that's the one that state schools have. And one more that I just said. I forgot. Okay, so those are kind of safe. They have safe guardrails on top of the other platforms. Did anybody get anything from Canva or wants to share? Questions about Canva? It's pretty complicating. My students find this one to be the most complicating, except for that chat AI box. They like that. No comments.
I've
Those are
just
making-
been experimenting with different image types and I was having it do a agenda planning for 3 upcoming meetings that I have. So I've just been kind of playing with all of its functionality while you've been talking.
Great. So again, it's free to use except for the things with the crown. And for all K-12, it's free for teachers and students. And the way that works is the teacher sets up their account with if their school has purchased it, and then they add their students to it. So that way everybody can share with each other. And the colleges that bought the pro, like I said, the arts colleges did, they're using. Oh, that's great. Like one person's eyes is possessed and the rest is. That's great.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Mandy.
made a presentation. I asked it to use our branding guidelines, but it didn't do it this time. Or put it on
So-
here. And I asked it to make it accessible as well, but a little bit, I don't know. I think that the contrast might be a little bit funky, or the slides might be a little bit dark. But it's kind of cool. Like I made a presentation. I asked it to incorporate information from our OER and ZTC guide for a faculty workshop. So it made me a whole slide that I could also, it was cool because it popped up like a little outline, like an AI generated outline that I could edit before it made the slides for me, which I didn't do. But yeah, I'm not certain how much, I haven't reviewed it, of course,
Right.
whether or not it's accurate.
And it does have an accessibility checker in itself as well that we've been using. And so, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's much better for what we do here in education to me than other things. Now they've got it in, it's US and Australia are the big users and everybody's using it in the K-12. So there's a massive amount of people that they're getting data from. And so it's, and I met some of the teachers that helped build it. It's pretty amazing. I wanted to show you something about the branding though, let me share my Canvas screen. I could literally spend the rest of my life in this. And that's what my older students love this because they can make videos for free. And I'll show you how. There is a branding thing, but it is on the paid pro version. So like we did that in Eduvators, we put in stuff in there and then so you can see the brand colors automatically come out. But it is it's got the little crown next to it. So that's, but it should be able to, if you put an image in, be able to change the brand colors, but I'm not sure because the way it does work is through this little thing. The most confusing thing is the navigation, and if you click the Canva icon, usually it gets back to the beginning. So you get back to Canva AI. But I did want to point out, this is where students coming into our system are creating their content, because the K-12 teachers are mostly all using it. So even the free one, when I teach summer boot camps for K-12, I have them go into this video. They can just drag in save video, and without even teaching about video editing, like you can drag stuff in and make videos and add music and everything. It's incredibly fast and easy. So in the K-12 world, this is an amazing teaching tool because you don't have to go as a teacher into like, how do you use, Premiere or something like that. So just so you know, it's got all of the different elements to teach AI now, coding, and then you can make a website, you can do presentations, you can make things for, meetings, social media, whatever. It's got almost everything here. You can see, you can just pick a template and get started. So it's a lot. And all of these things are free included. So that's, it's a whole nother class, but I just wanted to show you that and the difference in something that just came out yesterday. And the reason I'm going to show you is because I showed you that CTE site that I made in Canva. And you saw, how it looked, and it looked pretty cool. But I'm going to share my phone if this will let me. Actually, let's see. So it should let me do my AirPlay. Share. Okay. All this changed this week as well, the way Apple iOS 6 works together, which I'm using right now. So it's all brand new technology. So you'll be seeing my phone in a second. All right, there's my phone. So a new thing came out. You'll see it rolling out soon, and I want to share it for a certain reason. I saw a professor do this the other day, and this is my account. And at the moment, you need an invite. I've got 4 left if anybody needs them. But what I wanted to show you, I asked it a prompt that I saw another professor do, and I'll just show you. Let's see if it'll play here. There we go. I'll show you what it did. I only put in a few words prompt you can see on there. See if it will let me play on Zoom. If it won't let me play, I'll put the link in. Huh, doesn't want to play here. Interesting. No idea why. It might be a Zoom thing, not letting me play through. Okay, so I made a beautiful video. I'm just going to put the link in the chat instead. But the reason this is important is what it's producing is better than all of these things. It's the best video AI ever made, and it's not even like close. So I'm going to go ahead and get the link and put it in the chat, and then you can see it on your own screens. Okay, there it is. So remember, I only put a few words in. Copy this link somehow. Maybe there.
And you're in the Canva video, or where are you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna, in the chat, I put a link and see if that works. It won't let me share my phone video while I'm sharing in Canva for some reason. There's something around there. But I did put a link there. It should work in the chat. And if you turn your sound on, you'll hear it. So if you're seeing that video, all I did is ask it about CTE programs at LACCD, and I didn't even give it a website or anything about the programs. I could go back and say, hey, here's the programs I want you to highlight. But the reason this is important, just so we know, like the videos now that are going to be coming out are probably going to be generated with this newer AI video technology. So it's better than anything you can do in any of them, really. Veo 3 is the closest one that Google has, but Sora is The way they designed it is you can make videos and download them and share them, but it's also a social application where anybody can make videos and share them with each other, kind of like if you think about Instagram or TikTok. And I'm not a TikTok user, but so people will be scrolling through videos. It might be, let's see. No, the prompt I used is, let me read my Sora app. Make a video about LACCD CTE programs. That's all I asked it. And I wouldn't have known it would do that, but I said I saw another professor do this the other day from Mount SAC, and I was like, whoa. So I didn't provide anything. I mean, it got like a logo, it got like this nursing program, and like, it's, when I saw this yesterday, I was like, how did you do that? That would have taken me, $20,000 and, 3 months to get. It just took me about 20 seconds, and I didn't even tell it what to do, barely. So I wanted to show you that. So that's the difference between making videos and anything else in the world and Sora. So Sora is, what ChatGPT did is they took Sora, and that wasn't working very well, and they made a whole different version that works on your phone, and they're going to be rolling it out to everybody coming up. So it's incredibly wild, super important to know. Any questions about that? I think it's such a huge breakthrough, I had to bring it up. Caroline, what do you think?
I think that's absolutely wild. I want to make one right now.
I mean, I'm making stuff all day. I mean, it literally is addicting, which is the problem, of course. And I wish I could share on Zoom, but my husband's a fan of 2001, and I play clarinet, so I made like the apes in the beginning throwing up a clarinet, to get into the future. And it did it. And with a very short prompt, I made my Bichon Frise puppy coming out of a beautiful rose. I mean, once you get on there, and again, it's on the phone, so it'll be, if you go to Sora.com, or I think it's Sora.com, then it'll probably tell you when it's rolling out. Or Sora. I just want to check if it's Sora.ai or Sora.com. But it's completely, I think it's .com. Let me see, .com. Sora.com. So it was working on the computer, and I think they took that down. Oh no, it's working on the computer. Oh my gosh, okay. They just started that. So I'm gonna put a link, and I don't know if it will work for everybody or if it's just working because it's in my account, but let me share. That's pretty cool. Now maybe I can show some stuff. I can show my Sora screen. That must have happened today because it wasn't there yesterday. So I think this is it. I think it's working. So, and they have sound and everything. Like, let's just...
Did you just see that?
It's a leopard.
In the living room.
So it does, let's see, let's get it does all the sound and sound effects and music and everything. So if you go on, I would just keep an eye on it because I think not just for students, but promotions, LinkedIn, I think it's going to take over. I mean, why would it not? It's like, it's so incredibly powerful. So we have 15 minutes left. Let me stop and see. I have a whole bunch of apps and prompts that I have ready to go in everything else. The last one I wanted to show was about the latest things in Perplexity Pro that we also have free right now. But before I do that, let me just stop and see and make sure everybody's getting time to try things, or there's something else you want me to show before I do that. Hearing none. Would you guys like me to show you the latest Perplexity Pro then? Or anything else that you prefer? Okay, awesome. So I fell in love with this week. They have a version for us free for educators, and I'll show you how to get to that too. Share my screen. So you can see mine says Pro. In fact, I took my credit card out because I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to charge. You can go on Perplexity, and if you put in your EDU address, it'll upgrade. Even though I think, again, I think I'm still using my Gmail, but you can go on Perplexity's website and say, hey, I want my free version for teacher. And I think they sent me a link. So let's see, Perplexity Pro for students. So yeah, you can just go on there, and then you can get a link, and then it'll ask you what's your EDU address and what school do you go to, and or where it's for teachers and students, and then it's free for a year, no credit card. So I like that a lot when we get it free. And the reason why this one is important is because, first of all, it has Teach Me, so it has a tutor mode. This is not a coding tool, it's a fact-finding tool. So, in fact, it has spaces, so you can do a bunch of research on put all your everything about your program in there, about a class, about your department, and then ask it questions and answers and create documents. But I'll just show you, let's see, some stuff that I did recently. So I think I did one on myself. Yes, and it was so exhaustive. So I just asked it, look up anything. Oh, this is on my sister. And it gave me everything she ever did, all the journals she's in, all the stuff she's published, all the shows she's done, and then follow-up questions. And I did it about myself, and it was pretty incredible. So how do I use this in education? So it's pretty simple. The home button, these are some great ways to start. So people that I've been teaching love finance, so we just, and you can try this right now. I have and I'm not a stock, I don't understand stocks. Other people handle that for me, but I have people try this, tell me, or make a report about NVIDIA or something. So, because I teach all ages, my older students love doing this, and they're not doing their stock portfolios, but they're just learning about stuff to ask about. So it'll give you information but this is facts. What it's not doing is making up things. This is a web scraper, and then it's taking AI to put the web stuff together. So these are facts, they're not fiction. So it works very different from ChatGPT or anything else. And it even gives me interactive tools, historical data, financials, earnings. So I'd love you to try one of these on the finance before I move on to academic and see how it works on Perplexity. I think you can even try it without signing in, but it only gives you 3 prompts if you don't sign in. See what you think. Okay, I'm doing that. Okay. Did you guys get some great information? That are facts and sources? So I put in the chat what Perplexity is used for. Any feedback?
I'm happy that there's not much public information available about me. I asked about myself.
So exactly. So because I'm a musician and I publish a lot, and then plus peer-reviewed journals at whatever, and patents, whatever, you did in the public space, it'll pick that up. But those are professional, for me, I'm happy that it's in there, but it's professional stuff that that I know it's published, right? So like if you go, what patents did I do? Anybody could look that up on Google. It just kind of brings it all together, like publications. And so like mine was exhaustive, 30 years of music, whatever, all the things. But it didn't do private stuff like, oh, and I did this with my family. No private stuff was there.
Yeah, like, oh, here's her Instagram profile and here's
Yeah.
her Facebook. And
Yeah, and I have all that, like my Facebook turned off to the public anyways, which all you guys should have, as well as two-factor authentication, because those things get hacked all day. But yeah, so you can see it's factual and it's giving you information that you asked for, so it's a fantastic research tool. Let me go back in there. So the next one that there's some on the pro version anyway, there's these things on the bottom and you can go into study mode. So I asked, let's learn about the government. So it gives you like what level do you want, which is nice because I didn't prompt it very well. And so now it's like, okay, let's do this one. And then it'll figure out what level you want to know. It immediately pulls the sources, which is really important. And I put these, if I'm going to do this for class or in Canvas, I'll put all this in there. So we have the sources, we have the links to the sources, which is great. And then it'll go and do that. It's still doing sources. So the study, so it's giving me infographics that it found, the explanation, because I click checks and balances, a review, and follow-up questions. And now it generates flashcards and quizzes. So it's learned that people doing research, and mostly it's education, are asking for these things over and over and over. So now it just said, do you want your flashcards and your notes and whatever else? So it already makes them for you. And then you can share that with students and stuff. So it's really great. So we're all asking for flashcards and quizzes. So it just added it to Perplexity now under the study mode, which is pretty great. So I don't even have to do a prompt. That's why I'm like leery on prompt engineering. It's like, these are understanding what we asked for and just giving it to you anyways. Another one that I'd love you to try, let me go back to home, is let's do academic. So this is the one that I used for myself. But let's say we want to do, let's find papers on ethical AI. You can do whatever you want. AI. For community colleges, and then let it rip. So what this does is it goes through more sources typically, because we're doing academic research. It should give me peer-reviewed journals, so which is archive right there. That's where a lot of the stuff is finding from. I usually notice Springer journals. There's something from IEEE. So these are sources that I trust, NIH, whatever, and it's still going through. So it's got 20 sources, and then it gives me where it writes each thing, where it came from. So again, scraping the internet, it's able to go into peer-reviewed journals and other sources that are reputable, and then tell you each one, and then gives you a whole bunch of papers on ethical AI. So this is my favorite way, between this and Google Labs, both of them, to get proper research on a topic. And then you can use this and Google Labs, it doesn't matter what, or Notebook, and do white papers or, important materials for presentations and things like that. And it'll tell you also the steps it went through to get to that answer, which is great. So there's a lot more here, but we're at the end of the time, so I want to answer any questions or see what you got out of Perplexity. And in the meantime, also Linda's sharing some more guides, and we also have a QR code to go and take our courses and Eduvators. We have short courses in all these apps and certifications as well, so you're welcome to download those. Anything else, Linda?
Nope, that's it.
Is that enough? The world of AI today, that's what we should call these. Everything changed since last week.
This is my first time doing a hands-on with a Zoom, and it's a lot more difficult than hands-on in-person trainings.
For sure.
Well, thank you everyone for attending today. I know I learned a lot, and my Perplexity research is still going, and I can't wait to see how it ends up. So I hope that you all learned something today that you've gotten excited about and are eager to start applying today. Please make sure to fill out the feedback form for us. We would really appreciate that. And remember that we do have the Lark AI Learning Library, and that is where all of our professional development recordings will be posted. And as you know, there were some supplemental documents that were provided for our training today. Those are linked in the YouTube in the description. You'll find those linked right in the YouTube. So you have those for easy access. I'm going to put a link to the library in the chat as well, just so that you can see in our sidebar what's coming up next, and make sure you share, register, and attend. So thank you, Raina. Thank you, Linda. And thank you everyone for joining today. Have a wonderful weekend.
Welcome. See you guys next time.
Thanks. Bye.